Hey everyone, Lex here from Shield Media. Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're going to be diving into this Google glitch that caused kind of a stir in the SEO world.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting to see kind of how much attention it got.
Yeah, especially for our listeners out there, business owners and C-level execs. Every detail matters when it comes to your online presence.
Oh, absolutely. And this incident, it all started back on November 8th when SEO expert Lily Ray, she was just browsing on her iPhone and she noticed that all these favicons, those little icons, they were missing from the search results. So naturally, she kind of freaked out a little bit and, took to Twitter and posted a screenshot.
Well, and then Rajan Patel, Google's VP of engineering, he chimed in and was like, hey, this isn't an intentional change.
Yeah, it was just a glitch. He explained that sometimes Google will serve these simplified search results to devices that maybe don't have as much processing power. So maybe a lower end phone or something like that.
Right. And that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to overload a device with too much information and slow it down. But here's the thing.
Lily was using a brand new iPhone.
Exactly. Like not exactly a low-end device.
Right. So that's where things get a little bit more interesting.
So then Patel was like, well, maybe it was a misconfigured experiment or it's just a temporary glitch. Things happen.
Hmm.
But looking at some of the details that we have, it seems like it could have been more than that. Things like internet connection speed or latency, those can play a role too.
Yeah, and maybe Google just mistakenly thought that she was using a device with less processing power because of that.
Right. It's like they misjudged the situation.
It happens.
It does. It does. It just goes to show that even the most sophisticated tech can run into these hiccups.
And I think for businesses, it just highlights, how important it is to be adaptable and aware of all these little nuances in the digital landscape.
So before we go any further, let's make sure everyone's on the same page. What exactly are these favicons, and why should our listeners care, especially if they're trying to attract Western clients?
Okay, so favicons, it's short for favorite icon, right? And it's basically that small square graphic that represents your website.
Oh, okay, so it's like a mini version of your logo,
Exactly. And you see it in browser tabs, bookmarks, and of course, search results.
and it helps users quickly identify your site.
Yeah. And it plays a big part in, brand recognition and building that visual identity.
And in Western markets, where visual branding is so important, having that clear, recognizable favicon can make a huge difference. Attracting clicks, building trust with potential customers.
Absolutely. Think about it, when you're scrolling through a list of search results, you're way more likely to click on something that looks visually appealing and professional. You're going to skip over those that don't, right?
It's all about that first impression.
Exactly. And even though favicons are tiny, they play like a surprisingly big role in that process.
And Google even recommends a minimum size of 32 by 32 pixels for the favicon.
Yeah.
So they clearly get how important they are.
Yeah, definitely.
So we've got this favicon disappearance. It was temporary, caused by a glitch, probably influenced by more than just the device itself. But what does it all mean? Why should our listeners, especially those running businesses, care about this?
Well, on the surface, it's a reminder that, nobody's perfect. Even a tech giant like Google can have technical issues. But if we dig a little deeper.
It reveals something pretty crucial for anyone in the digital world.
Exactly. The digital world, it's constantly changing.
And for business owners and executives, that means staying informed and adaptable.
You can't just set up your website and forget about it. Google is always, tweaking its algorithms, experimenting with new features, just trying to make search better for users.
So how do you even keep up with all these changes? It's like trying to hit a moving target.
Yeah, well, there are a few things you can do. First off, subscribe to some, reputable SEO newsletters and blogs, and they'll keep you in the loop on algorithm changes and industry trends, that kind of thing.
So you don't have to be scouring the internet all day, every day.
Exactly. And second, use tools like Google Search Console. It gives you all these insights into how your website's performing in search results, and it'll alert you to any potential issues.
No, that's great. It's like having a direct line to Google. Letting you know what they're seeing and how they're interpreting your website.
Exactly. And then third, don't be afraid to experiment a little,
Right.
like A/B test different Favicon designs, analyze your website traffic, see what works best with your target
So
audience.
being proactive and data-driven.
Exactly. And speaking of data, this whole incident also shows how important transparency is from companies like Google.
Yeah, I agree. Rajan Patel being willing to come out and, acknowledge the glitch and explain what might have happened really says a lot about their commitment to open communication.
It definitely helps build trust, both with users and website owners. When, Google's actively trying to fix these issues and improve its systems, it gives us more confidence in the search ecosystem as a whole.
It creates a sense of partnership.
Yeah.
We're all in this digital landscape together.
Right. And for businesses, especially those aiming for Western markets where trust and authenticity are so important, it's key to align with companies that value transparency.
Now, I know some listeners might be thinking, okay, but how does this actually affect my business? So let's bring it back to the bottom line.
Even a temporary glitch like this one can mess with your website's visibility and search results. And like we talked about those visual cues, those favicons, they really matter when it comes to getting people to click and visit your site.
Yeah.
Even a small drop in traffic can lead to missed opportunities and potentially lost revenue.
Especially those competitive Western markets where every click is so valuable.
Exactly. And it's not just about the immediate impact of a glitch. It's about understanding that the digital world is constantly changing and you need to adapt your strategies.
What works today might be totally different tomorrow.
You have to be agile, informed, willing to adjust as needed.
And having a deep understanding of all the factors that come into play, both the technical stuff and what users want, that becomes so important.
This Favicon thing is a good reminder to pay attention to even the smallest details. They can have a ripple effect on your whole online presence.
It's like chess, you know. You need to be thinking several moves ahead, anticipating your opponent's strategies, and adapting to the changing dynamics of the game.
And in this case, your opponent is the algorithm, the ever-evolving digital world.
Yeah.
But unlike regular chess, collaboration and transparency can actually help you win.
Which brings us to an important point.
Yeah.
You can definitely try to handle all these complexities on your own, but having a trusted partner to guide you through the digital world can make a huge difference.
Couldn't agree more. And that's where a digital marketing agency like ours can be so valuable.
Right at Shield Media, we specialize in helping businesses, especially those targeting Western markets, navigate SEO, PPC, social media marketing, all that. We stay on top of the latest trends and algorithm updates so you don't have to.
Think of us as your digital Sherpas guiding you to online success, helping you avoid those glitches and pitfalls along the way.
But for now, let's leave you with something to think about as we head into our final segment.
If even a tiny missing favicon can cause such a stir, what other seemingly insignificant elements might be affecting your online presence without you even realizing it?
It really makes you think, what other things are we missing?
Right. It's like it's easy to get caught up in the big picture and forget about all the little details that, actually make a difference.
Yeah, it's like when you're building a house, you don't just focus on the foundation, the walls.
Yeah.
You got to think about the finishing touches, too. What makes it feel like a home?
Exactly. It's the same with your online presence. You need that strong foundation, the well-structured website, the good content, but then you also need to think about those smaller details. Things like your favicon, how fast your website loads, and just, making sure the user experience is good.
It's all about creating that polished online experience that really shows off your brand and connects with your audience. And for those targeting Western clients, this attention to detail, that's super important.
Oh, yeah. Western consumers, they have high expectations. They see so much marketing every single day. Your website has to stand out and grab their attention.
And it's not just about looking pretty either. It has to be easy to use, informative, engaging.
And visually appealing.
Of course. It all builds that trust and credibility with potential customers.
And that's where understanding your target market is key. What do they like? What are their pain points? What kind of visuals resonate with them? These are all questions you got to ask yourself.
It's like putting a puzzle together. All the pieces have to fit just right. And if one piece is missing or out of place, the whole image is messed up.
Right. Every single element of your online presence matters. Your favicon, your social media posts, everything should work together to create one unified brain experience that tells your story and connects with people.
And I get it. It can feel kind of overwhelming with all these different elements and strategies and things to think about. The digital world is constantly changing.
Yeah, it can be tough to keep up. And that's why it's so helpful to have a partner who can guide you through all the complexities of digital marketing.
And that's where Shield Media comes in. We specialize in helping businesses, especially those focusing on Western markets, navigate SEO, PPC, social media marketing, all that.
We're passionate about helping businesses reach their goals using digital marketing, and we stay on top of all the latest trends and best practices, so you don't have to.
So whether you want to rank higher in search results, get more people to your website, or build a stronger presence on social media, we can help.
We offer a range of custom solutions that are tailored to fit the needs of each client.
We know every business is different, so we work with you to develop strategies that make sense for your goals and your audience.
And we're all about transparency and results. We keep you in the loop every step of the way.
So if you're ready to take your digital marketing to the next level, especially if you're targeting those Western markets, reach out to Shield Media. We'd love to hear from you.
And in the meantime, keep learning, keep experimenting, and keep an eye on those little details. You never know what you might find.
And that's a wrap on another deep dive. We hope you found this discussion about the Google Favicon glitch insightful and maybe even a little inspiring.
Remember, even the smallest things can have a big impact online. Stay curious, stay engaged, and stay ahead of the curve.
Don't forget to follow us and share this episode with anyone who might find it useful. And be sure to check out Shield Media's digital marketing services if you want to boost your online presence and attract those Western clients. We'll see you in the next deep dive.